Cops and Crooks. Wouldn't that be awesome in GTA Online? That's one of my most requested DLCs, if not my most requested one. And I know a lot of others, it is their most requested one. And wouldn't it be awesome if Rockstar actually listened and added it into the game? Well, it looks like that actually might be happening in the December update. We finally have our first bit of information on that December update. At least we are assuming it's going to be a December update. I mean, that's not official or anything. It's just what Rockstar's done for the last 4 or 5 years. They release a major update in December, right before Christmas, and we're all assuming that's going to happen again. But we got our first sort of indirect confirmation as to what this December update could potentially include. And of course, this is coming from Fun MW2. He was digging around in the game files, which we'll see, and there were some very, very interesting bits of code that Rockstar added. Now, of course, before we get into anything, like with all of these leaks, this isn't obviously official. This is coming from the game files, though, so it is indirectly coming from Rockstar. But this doesn't confirm anything. It is just something to know that is possibly coming. Hopefully we'll get some confirmation sometime soon, because if it is a December DLC, I mean, we're pushing the end of October here and almost, into November. So there's not too many more weeks before December comes around. So Rockstar hopefully gives us some information sometime soon. Although we do have a decent bit more of the drip feed content from the casino DLC. We still have the alien mode. We still have the peyote plants and a couple other cars to get through. So it may take a little bit of time. With all that being said, though, hopping into the information, Fun posted on Twitter a couple of days ago. He was checking some stuff and he found something interesting. The interesting thing, he's telling me it's possible the next update for GTA Online might introduce roles, or the Cut Cops and Crooks mode is coming back. Basically something like a Free Roam Mark II. And of course he does say he could also totally be wrong. So again, just know that. But what he was referring to with the Cops and Crooks mode in particular, that was the original concept of GTA Online. I've made numerous videos on this in the past over the years. GTA Online started as a Cops and Crooks mode where you could choose your character as either being a cop or in a gang or a crook, and there would be certain territories. And it was totally different than what we have now. And it sounded awesome, but unfortunately, we never got that. Back in the day, though, when it was a thing, it apparently was a separate free mode. So there were 2 modes. There was the regular free mode, and then there was this, Cops and Crooks mode. And he's saying that's potentially what this next update could be. Or it could just be like Red Dead Online and just have some new roles, which is still interesting. And we'll touch on that in a second. The most interesting part, and we'll see what these scripts actually are, but someone asked, when were these added? And Fun said they were added with the casino update. So that means this isn't something that's been in the game for a while. No, this is something that literally just happened. And it is very strange that all of a sudden this is happening with the last update. Like, that doesn't really sound right if this wasn't going to be anything. So that's why we are thinking it's going to be something, and hopefully it's going to be that next DLC. Now, the actual script, this is what he saw, or at least some of what he saw. He says the piece of code that they changed was the free mode script. So you can see it went from request script free mode underscore init to script request script function 16 15 64. And basically that function in the bottom part there refers back to that free mode init script. And he goes into detail here. It's kind of a long thing. You can maybe pause it and read it. Basically, what he's saying, though, is at the moment, there's only that free mode script. There's no other scripts. There's literally just one script. So he's saying, why, if there's only one script, would they need to change it to check a list of some sort for other scripts? And he's saying, potentially, that's because in this next update, we're going to be getting another free mode script. And so the game is going to have to check between a list of, free modes, I guess. He does also say another interesting thing he found was that this new free roam mode, it potentially might not be available for 30 players. It apparently limits the amount of players, and that is interesting for a couple of reasons that I'm going to speculate on. I mean, number one, maybe it's just they don't want 30 cops or something like that. Like, they just don't want a bunch of people. But potentially, if this is all true, they limit it to, let's just say, 16 or 20 people. But that's because there's a lot more going on in the world. Like, maybe they actually add animals. Maybe they add a lot more NPC stuff. And they have to lower the amount of people so they can add all that extra content. That would be awesome, despite not having 30 players in a lobby. And then the final bit of information, and just to clarify some stuff, we'll read through what he says here. He does believe it could be the December update because, like I said, it was added in the casino update, so just makes sense. It also could be a new mode that functions like free roam, or it could be a free roam custom session. Obviously, I think we all would rather a custom free roam session rather than just a mode. As for how it would function, you would start up the game and then you would just launch into the mode. I guess it would give you an option to either launch into free roam or this new free roam. I think that's kind of how GTA 4's multiplayer was. Like, it gave you a sort of option to choose rather than just put you straight in like what we have now. And he says, though, in this new free roam, it'd be totally different. Like, all the rules would be different. There would be no CEOs or presidents. It could have its own roles with businesses and such. Or obviously the cops and crooks, where if you're a cop, like, you're a cop, you have to actually play as a cop. You're not just a cop for a mission and then you can go around killing people. You know, if you're a cop, you get maybe informed that a criminal is doing something, and then you have to go and arrest them, and that's kind of what he says. Now, of course, in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on this potential new info on the December DLC. Would you like this? I mean, look, I am all for it. But some other interesting thoughts that I had regarding this, for the last like 2 years, it seems like there have been some unreleased IAA clothing or gear in the game that you can't access unless you do some sort of glitch. And, you know, maybe finally that gets used. And plus, we do have a lot of interaction with the IAA, so it kind of does make sense as far as the story goes if the IAA recruits you to become a cop. Like, maybe that's how that separate or section of the story, if it is cops and crooks and you get to choose between a cop and a crook, well, we've been interacting with the IAA. We got recruited by them, you know, maybe to make sense of a criminal becoming a cop, the IAA could just wipe your record clean, and then now you're good to go. You can become a cop, and it makes a little bit more sense than just normal. The other thought that I had, and I've seen some other people have the same thought, we all do know GTA 6 is coming out. They seem to be, Rockstar seem to be focusing also on Red Dead Online a lot more. GTA Online is kind of just, it's getting towards its end. Like, we all just know that. And while there still may be some DLCs, it's approaching the end, and that's just the way it is. And it would make a lot of sense for Rockstar if they knew GTA Online is, you know, approaching its end. It would make a lot of sense for them to add an update to the game that gives players separate lobbies and separate lobby settings, the stuff we've always asked for, just so people could still play the game and enjoy the game after they're done adding content. Like, as a company, while you may not be adding content, you still want people playing the game because there's probably still money to be made. So why not give people who are going to be playing your game a lot of choices so they don't get burnt out of a specific thing? And there's a lot of issues, obviously, with the free roam balance. And I think maybe Rockstar, like, okay, fine, we went a little bit too far. So here's a new free roam with some new balancing rules, and maybe that's what's happening here. Maybe they've realized, free roam, it's getting kind of boring, kind of OP. Everything's just a little bit too crazy. Well, let's make a new free roam so people who still enjoy the game don't stop playing because of all that craziness. Like, that does make sense from a business perspective. And I'm not saying that this December DLC is going to be the last one, but it makes sense that one of the final DLCs would be something along these lines so people still play the game even when nothing is being added. Again, though, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It is a very interesting thing to know. And I know this isn't obviously 100% confirmed, but the fact that something like this is on the table, it seems like, that is really exciting. Thank you all for watching. Of course, if there's any information on this, any other information, I will be sure to let you guys know. So subscribe if you're new around here. But thank you all. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.